Everyone's made a mistake with their car at some point, but some mistakes can really make your mechanic cringe. Whether it's a simple DIY task gone wrong or a common issue you didn't know was causing damage, these car mistakes can lead to some serious headaches and expensive repairs. In today's video, we're diving into some of the most cringe-worthy car mistakes that'll have mechanics shaking their heads. Stick around to find out how to avoid these costly errors. Number 1. DIY oil changes gone wrong. Changing your own oil can seem like a simple and cost-effective way to take care of your car. After all, how hard can it be, right? But the reality is that DIY oil changes gone wrong are one of the most common mistakes that make mechanics cringe. Let's start with the basics. When you attempt to change your oil at home, it's easy to overlook a few critical steps, like using the wrong type of oil, not properly draining the old oil, or forgetting to replace the oil filter. These mistakes can have serious consequences. If you use the wrong oil, you risk damaging the engine by compromising its lubrication, which can lead to overheating and excessive wear. Another common issue is not draining the oil completely. If there's still old oil left in the engine, it can mix with the new oil, reducing its effectiveness and potentially causing the engine to run inefficiently. And of course, the oil filter is just as important as the oil itself. Skipping this step means your engine could be circulating dirty oil, which can cause long-term damage to the internal components. But it's not just about what you do, it's also about what you forget. A lot of DIY oil changers forget to properly tighten the oil drain plug, leading to leaks and potentially catastrophic oil loss while driving. A loose filter can also lead to leaks, causing a mess under the car and potentially damaging the engine. The bottom line, while changing your own oil can save you some money, if you don't have the proper knowledge, tools, or experience, it's easy to make costly mistakes. Mechanics cringe at these DIY oil change disasters because they often end up costing more in repairs than it would have cost to have the job done professionally in the first place. Number 2. Duct tape repairs. Duct tape, the quick fix for almost anything, right? While it's a fantastic tool for temporary solutions around the house, when it comes to car repairs, using duct tape is one of the biggest mistakes that makes mechanics cringe. Sure, it can seem like a good idea in the moment, but it's not a permanent fix, and it's often just delaying the inevitable. One of the most common uses of duct tape in car repairs is for patching up leaks or covering up holes. Whether it's a busted hose, a cracked bumper, or even a leaking exhaust, some drivers think a little duct tape will hold everything together until they can get it properly fixed. But here's the problem. Duct tape is never a long-term solution. It's not designed to withstand the heat, pressure, or the chemicals found under the hood of a car. Over time, the adhesive will break down and the tape will lose its grip, leaving you with a mess that's harder to fix than if you had addressed the issue right away. Let's take the example of a leaking hose. If you slap duct tape on it and drive around, you're not just covering the problem, you're potentially making it worse. A hose that's already compromised could collapse under the pressure of the engine, causing coolant or oil to leak, leading to more severe engine damage. And if it's the exhaust system that's patched with duct tape, you're not only compromising the safety of your vehicle, but also risking exposure to harmful fumes. Mechanics cringe at these DIY repairs because they know that duct tape is a band-aid, not a fix. These temporary solutions often mask underlying issues that will need professional attention sooner rather than later. So while duct tape might hold up for a few days, it's never the answer when it comes to car repairs. It's always better to address the problem properly and save yourself from bigger, more expensive issues down the road. Number 3. Ignoring brake sounds. Brake noises, whether it's squealing, grinding, or a high-pitched whine, are often brushed off as no big deal, but ignoring these sounds is one of the worst mistakes you can make when it comes to your car's safety and performance. In fact, mechanics cringe when they see a car that's been driven for miles with obvious brake issues, because what starts as a minor noise can quickly escalate into a serious, costly problem. Let's start with the basics. When you hear squeaking or squealing from your brakes, it's often a sign that the brake pads are worn down and need replacing. Many brake pads come with built-in indicators that make a sound when they're getting low, but instead of getting them checked, some drivers just ignore it, thinking the noise will go away or that it's not urgent. However, if you continue driving on worn brake pads, you risk damaging the rotor, which is much more expensive to replace. The metal-on-metal contact can cause grooves or scoring on the rotor, making the whole braking system less effective and much more expensive to fix. Grinding noises are are even worse. If you hear grinding when you apply the brakes, it usually means that the brake pads are completely worn out and the metal parts of the brake system are rubbing together. This not only damages the rotor, but can also lead to a complete brake failure if left unchecked. In some cases, ignoring brake grinding could result in the need for a full brake replacement, including rotors, pads, and possibly calipers, an expensive repair that could have been avoided with earlier attention. Even more subtle sounds, like a soft whistling or clicking, can indicate problems with your brake system. These noises often come from dirt or debris getting caught in the braking components, and while they may not immediately affect performance, ignoring them can lead to more significant issues like brake pad wear or brake fluid leaks. The bottom line, brake noises are your car's way of telling you that something's wrong. Ignoring them is not only dangerous, but can also cost you much more in repairs. If you hear anything out of the ordinary, don't wait. Get your brakes checked out by a professional. Mechanics cringe at the thought of preventable brake failures, and you don't want to be caught in a situation where you wish you'd acted sooner. Number 4. Mismatched tires. When it comes to car maintenance, the tires are one of the most important components for ensuring a safe and smooth ride. But one of the biggest mistakes that makes mechanics cringe is driving on mismatched tires. It might seem like a quick and easy fix to just replace 1 or 2 tires when they wear out, but mismatching tire brands, sizes, or tread patterns can lead to a host of problems that could cost you far more in the long run. Let's start with why this is an issue. Your tires are the only contact point between your car and the road, so they play a crucial role in your vehicle's handling, braking, and overall performance. When you put mismatched tires on your car, you're throwing off the balance of your entire suspension system. Each tire may have different levels of traction, tread wear, and performance capabilities, which means your car will handle unevenly, especially in challenging conditions like rain or snow. For example, if you put a brand new tire on one side of the car and a worn out tire on the other, the worn tire will have less grip on the road. This can cause your car to pull to one side, leading to uneven tire wear and an uncomfortable driving experience. On top of that, mismatched tires can affect your car's alignment, causing it to pull or drift and leading to faster wear on other components like the suspension and steering system. Tire manufacturers design tires to work as a set, with matching tread patterns and performance ratings. When you mix different tire brands or sizes, you're compromising your car's handling and safety. For example, mixing all-season tires with winter tires, or putting tires of different sizes on the front and rear axles can cause problems with traction, braking, and cornering stability. And let's not forget about the cost. Mismatched tires may save you a little money in the short term, but they can end up costing you more in repairs. Uneven wear on your tires can lead to premature replacements, and the stress on your suspension and alignment components can add up quickly. The bottom line, mismatched tires may seem like a small issue, but it's one that can seriously impact your safety, your car's performance, and your wallet. Mechanics cringe when they see mismatched tires because they know it's a preventable mistake that can cause costly repairs down the road. Always replace tires in pairs or all 4 if necessary, and make sure they're the right size and type for your car. Number 5. Battery installation mistakes. Replacing a dead car battery is a common DIY task, but it's also one of the easiest ways to make a mistake that'll have mechanics cringing. It might seem straightforward. Remove the old battery, put in the new one, and you're good to go. However, battery installation is one of those tasks where a small mistake can lead to big problems, both for your car and your safety. Let's start with the most common mistake: connecting the battery cables in the wrong order. When you install a new battery, the proper sequence is critical. The negative terminal should always be connected last, and the positive terminal should be the first to be attached. If you connect the positive terminal first and then accidentally touch the negative terminal to a metal part of the car, you can cause a short circuit, sparks, or even an explosion. This is why mechanics cringe when they see DIYers skip this crucial step. Another mistake is not properly securing the battery. Car batteries are heavy and need to be secured tightly in place. If you fail to secure the battery properly, it can shift or move around while you're driving, which could damage the battery, cause electrical shorts, or even disconnect the cables while the car is running. Not to mention, a loose battery can also cause rattling sounds under the hood. Some DIYers also make the mistake of not cleaning the battery terminals before installing the new battery. Corrosion on the terminals can prevent a proper connection, leading to poor performance or even a dead battery sooner than expected. If you see any corrosion around the terminals, use a wire brush and a mixture of baking soda and water to clean it off before you install the new battery. And here's another issue: not checking the battery's charge before installation. If you install a battery that's already drained or faulty, you'll just end up in the same situation with a car that won't start. Always make sure the new battery is fully charged before installing it, and double check that it's the right type and size for your vehicle. The bottom line: battery installation is a relatively simple task, but it requires attention to detail. A simple mistake, whether it's connecting the cables in the wrong order, not securing the battery properly, or ignoring corrosion, can lead to bigger problems down the road. Mechanics cringe at these rookie mistakes because they know the potential consequences, from electrical damage to safety hazards. If you're unsure, it's always best to have a professional handle the installation to ensure it's done right. Number 6. Radiator flush disasters. Flushing your radiator might sound like a good way to keep your engine running cool, but when done incorrectly, it's one of those car maintenance tasks that can turn into a disaster. Radiator flushes are often touted as a way to clean out old coolant, remove debris, and prevent overheating. However, mechanics cringe when they see radiator flush disasters caused by DIYers who don't follow the proper steps, or worse, use the wrong products. Let's break it down. The primary purpose of a radiator flush is to clean out the cooling system and replace the old coolant with fresh fluid. This helps prevent rust, scale buildup, and ensures that your engine stays at the proper temperature. But when done improperly, you can end up with serious issues. First, let's talk about using the wrong coolant. Coolants are specifically formulated for different types of engines, and using the wrong kind can lead to poor engine performance, corrosion, or even overheating. Some DIYers make the mistake of using universal coolants that aren't compatible with their car system, which can cause the cooling system to break down faster. Always check your owner's manual to ensure you're using the right type and mixture of coolant. Another common mistake is not properly draining the old coolant before adding the new fluid. If old coolant remains in the system, it can mix with the fresh coolant, which reduces its effectiveness and could cause your engine to overheat. Mechanics cringe when they see coolant that's never been fully drained or flushed because it compromises the entire system. You should also make sure to dispose of the old coolant properly, as it's toxic and can cause environmental damage if not handled correctly. Then there's the issue of air pockets. If you don't properly bleed the radiator after a flush, air can get trapped in the system. These air pockets prevent coolant from circulating properly, leading to hot spots in the engine that can cause overheating or engine damage. If you're not familiar with the process of bleeding the radiator, it's best to leave this job to a professional who knows how to do it correctly. Lastly, a radiator flush done at the wrong time can lead to bigger problems. If your radiator or cooling system is already in poor condition, flushing it out can dislodge debris or scale that's been holding the system together, leading to leaks or more severe blockages. In this case, it might be better to replace the radiator or perform a more thorough inspection rather than attempting a flush. The bottom line: while a radiator flush is an important part of vehicle maintenance, it's not something to be taken lightly. If done incorrectly, it can cause more harm than good, leading to leaks, overheating, and expensive repairs. Mechanics cringe when they see radiator flush disasters because they know that what seemed like a simple maintenance task could have been avoided with the right knowledge and tools. Number 7. Air filter nightmares. Changing your air filter is one of the easiest and most cost-effective ways to keep your car running smoothly. However, when done wrong, air filter mistakes can turn into a nightmare for both your car's engine and your wallet. Mechanics cringe when they see air filter disasters, and unfortunately, many drivers are unaware of how a simple air filter mistake can lead to much bigger issues down the road. Let's start with the most common issue: installing the wrong air filter. It might seem harmless to buy a generic air filter, but using the wrong one for your car's make and model can lead to a host of problems. The filter could be the wrong size, which means it won't properly seal in the air intake system. This allows dirt, debris, and other contaminants to enter the engine, leading to increased wear and tear on internal components. Worse yet, a poor fitting filter can reduce engine performance and fuel efficiency. Another nightmare scenario occurs when the air filter is installed incorrectly. If the filter isn't seated properly in the airbox, it can allow unfiltered air to enter the engine, which is essentially like running your car with an open intake. This can lead to significant damage over time, as dirt and debris accumulate in the engine, clogging the fuel injectors and damaging critical parts like the valves and pistons. But it's not just about installation. Neglecting to replace a dirty or clogged air filter can also cause big problems. When an air filter becomes clogged, the engine can't get enough air, which can lead to poor acceleration, reduced fuel economy, and even engine misfires. In some cases, it could even cause the engine to stall. Mechanics cringe when they see drivers put off air filter replacements because a clogged filter can stress the engine, leading to costly repairs down the line. Some drivers also make the mistake of not cleaning the air filter properly if it's reusable. If you're not cleaning the filter according to the manufacturer's guidelines, you could end up damaging it or leaving behind dirt and debris that will continue to affect engine performance. In some cases, trying to clean a filter that's too far gone can cause it to lose its ability to properly filter the air, resulting in poor engine health. The bottom line, air filters may seem like a simple, low-risk component, but when handled incorrectly, they can lead to expensive repairs and long-term damage. Mechanics cringe when they see air filter nightmares because they know that a neglected or improperly installed filter can cost a lot more than just the price of a new part. Always make sure you're using the correct filter, installing it properly, and replacing it at the right intervals to keep your engine running clean and efficient. We hope you learned a few things today and now know what to avoid when it comes to car maintenance. Have you ever made one of these cringeworthy mistakes? Or maybe you've got a horror story of your own. Drop a comment below and let us know. We love hearing from you.